Good evening, councillors, staff, ladies and gentlemen in the gallery. Please be seated while Councillor Dewhurst delivers the blessing.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. I'd just like to ask that to give us the strength to make some really good decisions this evening. As you can see, I've prepared tonight, Madam Mayor. But anyway, the blessing is I just ask that it's strength for all of us to make good decisions on behalf of the ratepayers and business people and everyone within our city. And I also like to pay special note to those in our city who are not doing so well either through illness or through mental issues. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Dewhurst. I'll just read the acknowledgement of country, which is we acknowledge the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation, who are the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which we meet today, and we pay respects to them, their culture and their elders past, present and emerging. It is now 7:01 and I declare the meeting open. There are no announcement of visitors. Disclaimer, members of the public are cautioned against taking any action on council decisions on items in which they may have an interest until such time as they have seen a copy of the minutes of the meeting or have been advised in writing by city staff. Record of attendance. Councillor Patterson is an apology and Councillor Griffiths has got a leave of absence coming up, so other than that we're all here. Are there any disclosures of interest this evening? No, thank you. No announcements from myself. Any reports from delegates? No? Okay, thank you. Question time. I have a couple of questions here from Mr Ken Ashwin from 40 Forest Crescent in Thornley. The subject is the Aboriginal Cultural Heritage Act, BEV vehicles, trees, species of trees. Thank you.
Yeah. Can I do all the questions tonight or just the...
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, question one. With the Aboriginal Cultural Heritage Act 2021 coming into force on July 1 this year, will this potentially impact upon projects within the City of Gosnells, i.e. John Oakey, Davis Park, Sutherland's Park Master Plan as examples?
Thank you for your question. I'll ask the CEO to respond to that. Thank you, Mr Cowie.
Madam Mayor, the City's still assessing exactly what it will mean, and there's a meeting set with the Whadjuk Aboriginal Corporation shortly to further clarify.
Thank you.
If BEV vehicles, Nissan Leafs, are acquired, do they become part of the vehicle pool of the City of Gosnells, or are these vehicles going to replace vehicles that are part of salary packages to administrative staff?
Thank you for your question. I'll ask the CEO to respond to that one as well.
Madam Mayor, they'll be part of the vehicle pool.
Thank you.
Next question.
Does the City of Gosnells have a list of trees that are being planted in 2023 so that residents of the city know that what is going to be planted? If that list exists, does it exclude non-native trees so we do not revisit the fiasco London plane trees in Town Centre Drive or the Chinese elm trees in Canning Vale?
Thank you for your question. I'll ask the Director for Infrastructure, Mr Glover, to respond to that.
Through you, Madam Mayor. The City does have a list of trees that we are planting each year. It generally includes both native and non-native trees. The actual planting of those trees, where they're located, the exact numbers, is not finalised until we know what we're getting delivered through the contractors, and also the negotiations that we have with individual householders.
Thank you. Next question.
Does the City of Gosnells mandate to developers what species of trees can be planted when new estates are developed in the city so that we don't end up with introduced species such as Chinese elm trees or London plane trees in the future?
Thank you. I'll ask the Director for Planning, Mr Terrelink, to respond to that. Thank you, Mr Terrelink.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Names. Yes, the subdividers do need to lodge landscaping plans for approval with the City, so that includes their preferred species and also the maturity of the trees, and that's subject to the City's approval.
Thank you.
Thank you for your questions, Mr Ashwin. There are no further questions and there are no public statements. Moving on to the confirmation of the minutes, can I get a mover for that, please? Councillor Adams to move that, Deputy Mayor Hort to second that, Any questions on this item, councillors? No? If you could please cast your vote. Thank you. Thank you, councillors. That has been carried. Moving on to the receiving of petitions and presentations. I have one here, which I will read out. It's from Grace Kenny, 11 years old, from 6 Black Boy Court in Thornley, regarding the name change of Black Boy Court. So, a matter of changing the street name from Black Boy Court to a new, more appropriate name. I would like to make known the fact that I would like to change the street name of Black Boy Court in Thornley. The petitioner intends to send a proposal to the Traffic and Transportation Committee, and obviously her next step is to contact us. And on the back of this message, which is there, she has attached petitions for us to look at, and you can see that 37.5% of the neighbourhood has agreed with this issue. The petitioner feels like this street name is judging Aboriginal people and using their culture in vain. Petitioner believes that the new name should be Grass Tree Court, because every street around on the base is based on the name of a tree, and she thanks us for our consideration and time. And I move that the petition be received and referred to the CEO for action. Can I get a seconder for that? Deputy Mayor Hort is happy to second that. Councillors, if you could please cast your votes. Thank you, councillors. That has been carried, and I will just give a wave to the petitioner. I believe she's in Bali watching in on our meeting tonight. So, hi. Moving on. Thank you very much. Applications for leave of absence. I have 2. One from Councillor Griffiths and one from Councillor Adams. Councillor Griffiths seeks a leave of absence from council for the period the 11th of the 7th to the 25th of the 7th, which includes tonight's meeting on the 11th of July and the 25th of July, and it's for personal reasons. And Councillor Adams is from the 24th of July to the 5th of August, which includes the OCM on the 25th of July, and that's for personal reasons. I'm going to move them both together. So can I get a mover, Deputy Mayor Hort and Councillor Betts, to second? Councillors, if you could please cast your vote. Thank you. Thank you. That has been carried. There are no questions of which due notice has been given. We'll move on to item 13.1.1, the Major Projects Progress Report. Can I get a mover for that? Councillor Dewhurst, seconded by Councillor Betts. Thank you. Is there any questions or debate on this item, councillors? No? If you could please cast your vote. Thank you. Thank you, councillors. That has been carried. Item number 13.1.2, the application to Arena's Driving the Nation program. Can I get a mover for this, please? Councillor Williamson to move that and Councillor Baynes to second that. Is there any debate or questions on this item, councillors? No? If you could please cast your vote. Thank you. That has been carried. Moving on to item 13.2.1, the position statement for subdivision compliance and enforcement. Can I get a mover? Councillor Dewhurst to move that. Councillor Adams to second that. Any debate or Councillor Dewhurst? Thank you.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. Look, this is excellent to have this position statement, because it's going to stop a number of things. Firstly, to stop a local politician from saying it's all the local council's issues in regards to illegal clearing or clearing that we don't like, when in fact it's WAPC who have not listened to the city and gone about the allowing the areas to be cleared. So this certainly makes it very clear in regards to who's responsible, and it also puts the state on notice that if there's illegal clearing or illegal subdivisions in any way, that, you know, the position statement's there, guys, you approve it, you can have to enforce it as well. I mean, I'm aware there's been incidences where we've said, no, this can't happen, and where the developer has gone to the state and the state has said, yes, you can go do it. And then as a result of that, we've ended up with some messy subdivisions. So I'd like to thank, in particular, obviously the CEO, but in particular the Director of Planning and Development, and his team for writing this. This is absolutely fabulous, and it's something that we're looking for. And hopefully we don't have a reoccurrence of some of the issues of clearing or land divisions that cost the city a lot more money than they should do. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Dewhurst. Deputy Mayor Hort, then Councillor Williamson.
I've got a little quote tonight, Madam Mayor. Napoleon once said that one bad general does better than two good ones. And I think when you've got two departments or two parts of government that are both meant to be doing something, it's really confusing and it's not really clear, especially if one of those departments or the local government that we preside over doesn't have all the power to do the enforcement. So I think it's really important that it's clear who's responsible for this and that we advocate for who really needs to be taking care of these rules around subdivisions. So I'm very supportive of this and suggest that all councillors should vote in support of it. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Williamson, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm in support of the position statement. However, I would like to raise an amendment to the position statement that reads, I, Councillor Serena Williamson, propose the following, that the staff recommendation be amended by the inclusion of the following words after the words Appendix 13.2.1a, subject to the position statement being amended to include an additional part to Council's position as follows. The City will continue to monitor and inspect subdivision works to ensure they are undertaken in accordance with the approved plans and report instances of non-compliance to the West Australian Planning Commission. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm happy to second that, Councillor Williamson.
So for the following reason, we have staff that are out monitoring this at the moment, and I think it's very important that we still continue to monitor the works that is going on to ensure developers aren't out there doing anything that doesn't comply with the conditions. And I think it is appropriate to refer it back to WAPC to follow up and proceed with prosecution. So I ask you to support the amendment.
Councillors, any debate or questions on the amendment? No, if you could please cast your vote. Thank you. Thank you. That has been carried. Move back to the original item. Any further debate or comment on that? I just have a couple of words to say because the staff were already looking at this, but it was also due to the advocacy for some community members coming forward and talking about the fact that we had realised that I didn't know that there was no repercussions for people clearing land or not doing the catch and release in a timely manner, that hadn't been monitored. So it was great that the community groups came forward to us with that, and also that the staff were already working on it in the background. So very happy to support this position statement, and hopefully the people in state government will listen to what we're saying on this item and take some action to ensure that further incidents like this don't occur. Thank you, councillors. Anyone else? Any debate? Councillor Good, thank you.
Probably merely a question, Madam Mayor. If this gets approved tonight, and I have no reason to doubt that it won't because I'll be supporting it, as a city, are we taking it further? Meaning, is it actually going to the WAPC? Do we advocate higher up? Because I'm just actually surprised after all these years that nothing has been done. So where do we take this from after tonight is my question.
Position statement gets sent to the state government, but that would be correct. We'll send our position statement to the state government and then whatever further conversations account from that. So, yep.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. One other further question, perhaps the CEO can answer. Do we need to do, as a council and councillors, do we need to do anything more ourselves as far as advocate to the MPs, etc.?
You can answer that if you like, Mr. CEO.
As with any advocacy position, it's incumbent, I think, on all councillors and the city to continually advocate for those outcomes.
Any further questions or debate on the item? Councillors, if you could please cast your vote. Thank you. Thank you. That has been carried. Moving on to 13.3.1, the City of Gosnells Bike Plan for 2023-2033. Can I get a mover for that? Councillor McDonald to move that, Councillor Zhang to second that. Any debate or Councillor Deputy Mayor Hort, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just want to congratulate the staff on fantastic rounds of community consultation. I know they weren't particularly well attended, but it's lovely to have the opportunity there for our community to come and let us know what they see as the future of bikes in the City of Gosnells. I think it's really important that we have bike infrastructure in place, and particularly connecting networks, and I like that the report highlighted those gaps that have been noticed and are being acted upon. The thing that's probably really pertinent at the moment are e-bikes, e-scooters and all those kinds of things. They're everywhere, they're racing everywhere, and the infrastructures are going to be really important in the future to manage those as more and more people turn to them as their the preferred mode of transport. So this document, I think, will make a good footprint for future, I think, advocacy even from the community around where they would expect their e-bikes to be able to commute them to work or to the shops or whatever it might be. Something we're not really seeing yet, but I can foresee in the future. So well done to the staff, and I look forward to approving this. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Hort. Councillor Good, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, I absolutely endorse Deputy Mayor Councillor Hort's comments. Really endorse them. I think you picked them up absolutely beautiful. And again, I also congratulate the staff because what a terrific comprehensive plan. And one of the best parts about it is that over a number of years, been watching us develop this and bike paths and things that we're doing. And as you've said, Deputy Mayor Councillor Hort, the fact that we're thinking about the future with the e-scooters, the e-bikes, and you're right, they are everywhere. So again, I congratulate the staff too, with great vision, and it was a very comprehensive, detailed plan. So well done for your forward thinking.
Thank you, Councillor Good. Councillor Betts, thank you.
Thank you. Just a question. Is it within the realms of the possibility for council at some point actually to impose speed limits on those bike paths, especially with e-bikes, because it's becoming quite dangerous for pedestrians and those e-bikes. This e-bike can hike along at 40 k's an hour, no problems at all, which is pretty much then like walking on the road. And I think, yeah, that's an issue that perhaps needs to be looked at some point.
Thank you for that question, Councillor Betts. CEO, it's a good question. CEO.
I think the state government does have legislative requirements around the use of those sort of pieces of equipment, but we can have a further look at that and come back to Councillor Betts.
Any further questions or debate on this item? Councillors, if you could please cast your vote. Thank you. Thank you, that has been carried. Moving on to the proposed lease of part 13.3.2, proposed lease of part of lot 91 Holmes Street, Huntingdale, to the Gosnells Archers Incorporated. Councillor Williamson to move that, Councillor Adams to second that. Any questions or debate on this item, councillors? If you could please then cast your vote. Thank you. Thank you, that has been carried. Item 13.5.1, the tender for 06-2023 lead design consultancy for the Langford Indoor Sports Centre. Councillor Dewhurst to move that. Councillor Baines to second that. Any question? Councillor Dewhurst, thank you.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. Look, this is something that we've been pushing for a long, long time, and for an indoor centre to occur here and to see it to start to be planned is absolutely wonderful. However, during this process, I asked the CEO and the directors, and the particular director of infrastructure, because currently when you go down to don't get me wrong, I love the Langford netballers and all that. My kids, I coached my 3 girls, and I just love the place. I advocated for the resurfacing. Actually, no, we advocated for the resurfacing. We advocated for the lights, new lights to go there, and a great bunch of people. But when COVID came along, as you know, they sort of restricted everyone to be in certain areas and that. But it's kind of continued now where, which is actually stopping a lot of people from going, because if you on the even courts, even numbered courts, you're actually looking towards the sun, particularly in the afternoon and now particularly in the mornings, and you literally can't see your girls play. It's just brown blobs running around. And it's actually stopped parents from going. I've put posts up on my Facebook page about being there and that, and some of the message of the coach, of the messenger of the comments that I'm getting is that, well, we don't go as a family anymore because we don't enjoy it because we can't see our girls play. They've restricted you from being on the sidelines and actually being on the court. So that's pretty sad, and it's made a lot of people very angry, and it has disappointed me. So when we were designing this building here, I would hope that we have a talk to the Langford Southern District Association, because there'll be no good building facility if they're not going to let anyone watch it, because we're going to be too close. So, and there's not much land there, so it's something we're going to have to look at. They're going to have to either change their policies in regards to that, or we just literally won't have anyone there watching it because their current policy won't allow anyone to do it. So if we just keep that in mind, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Dewhurst, and I'm sure the Director for Infrastructure throughout that planning process will consult heavily with the stakeholders there. Any further questions or items? Councillors, if you could please cast your vote. Thank you, that has been carried. Item number 13.5.2, the budget variation for the reimbursement from the Southern River Precinct 3 Outline Development Plan Reserve. Can I get a mover for this? Deputy Mayor Hort, seconded by Councillor McDonald. Thank you. Any questions, debate, councillors? No, if you please cast your vote. Thank you. Thank you, that has been carried. There are no motions of which previous notice has been given, no urgent business, no confidential matters. I declare the meeting closed at 7:21.